As you guys know, Vechain is one of our most favorite blockchains out there, and is one that we are heavily invested in. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a Vechain update as to kind of where I think things are heading for the price action of the VET token. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button, let's roll the intro and get right down into it. Hi guys, welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today we are going to be jumping down into the world of Vechain. Now, we're not going to be taking a look at Vechain from a fundamental standpoint. We do this quite a bit down in the Discord server and on Twitter and X, and of course we do from time to time do some fundamental analysis on the YouTube channel. But today's video is going to be heavily focused on the price action of the VET token, where I think things are heading in the short, medium and longer term, and why I am so bullish on this project. Let's go right down into the desktop and take a look at what's been going on with the price action. So as you can kind of see here, guys, this chart is Vechain's VET token paired up with USDT on the daily Binance chart. Now, we have seen a very aggressive move to the upside, but there are some problems with this move to the upside. It has failed to reach some of those expectations to turn it into a 5-wave movement. It is very corrective in the way that it has moved. It has gone a little bit higher than we were initially expecting, but ultimately with Bitcoin turning down, I am expecting Vechain's VET token to basically look for a bit of a cooling off and a bit of a cumulative phase going on in the first quarter of 2024. Now, my price expectations after this rally up towards 3.877 cent is to see a cooling off down towards some of its key Fibonacci levels. Now, as you guys know, and if you are an OG of the channel, you'll know that we are very big on Elliott Wave theory. It is an incredibly complex structure and complex subject, and if you can get it right, it can perform very, very well for you. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a little bit on the structures that we see for VET token and using Elliott Wave theory and smart money concepts. If these things are new to you guys, why not go ahead and join us in the Discord server, and there's plenty of resources there to help you start to understand a little bit more about what is going on. And if you are a member, then we obviously do have some educational courses as well available on our website for Elliott Wave theory and smart money concepts. So let's jump back down into the desktop and take a look at what's going on. Okay, so here we have obviously our daily chart, and we have a very corrective move to the downside. There was a lot of hope that maybe we had finished our move to the downside, and we have a bottom at 1.318 cents. However, I do not think that is likely to be the case, and we actually have more of a W, X, Y, and Z structure playing out with a bit of a cooling off to the downside to be seen. Now, one of the things that a lot of people will kind of try to articulate or maybe speculate on is new bear market low points. This is no guarantee when it comes to Vechain. Ultimately, a low of 1.318 cents could hold as the bear market low point. The Z wave structure does not actually have to go down lower than the Y wave, and I'm going to break down what is going on there. So in the charts, as you can kind of see, I've drawn on a Fibonacci retracement tool. Now, Z wave patterns, according to Elliott Wave theory, retrace between 50 and 123 0.6%. Okay, so you can see down here the 1.236 at 0.00484. That's not to say that it absolutely categorically has to go down that low, because as I said, it's between the 50% and the 1.236. This gives us a very broad target to the downside for Vechain's price action. Now, ultimately, I'm looking at the Z wave as potentially falling short of going down into those lows, and actually I think we're probably going to find about 1.6 to 1.3 cent being a really good strong area for purchase power when it comes to the VET token. This could be a great place to accumulate Vechain, and where I think we're likely to find good support and rally on from. Now, you might be thinking, why are you talking about price action going down when this video is more about long term, and why you're so bullish on Vechain? And yeah, sure, I am incredibly bullish on Vechain's VET token and on Vechain as a whole. but I can't blindly ignore what's right there in front of us. And there's some pretty decent accumulative phases, I think, coming for the wider crypto market, including the VET token. So in this video, I'm giving you a bit of an idea that yes, we are going to be moving up, and I'm going to go through those bull market high targets in a moment. But we do have to first of all see this little bit of a call off period where we see better pricing for VeChain accumulative phasing. And then essentially from here, we rally on up. So from our price action and our price charts, we can basically say the Z wave technically can go down between 0.00484 all the way up to 0.01671. Okay, this basically tells us that we could see a new bear market low for VeChain, and likewise we might be able to avoid that by going and basically just pulling back to the previous low, find a double bottom, and then rally from there. So what about those longer target ranges for the price action of VET? Well, if we come up into a weekly time frame, so VeChain paired up with USDT on a 1 week Binance chart, we can see that actually there's a pretty decent structure for the price action of VET. Now here we can see that in order for us to really predict out where we think the next kind of bull market high target is going to be for VET, we first of all have to ascertain where our bear market lows are. Hence why we have to first of all think about whether or not a new low is coming for VeChain. In today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really conservative on the price action of VET. In order to do that, I'm going to assume that a new bear market low is coming, only because that limits the output of how high you can go. The lower that you go, ultimately the lower the high will be. Okay, if we have bottomed, then we'll have even higher bullish targets. So in the sense of being more conservative about the price action, we want to lower our expectations, okay? And that gives us a nice kind of platform to make sure that we lock in gains as price gravitates to the upside. So in this particular example on our charts, I'm using a 1 cent bear market low point for VET token. This basically will allow us then to use that to measure out where our potential could go in the future. So on this 1 week time frame, we can see good moves to the upside where we found resistance on the 0.236 area if we have a 1 cent low. Now, ultimately, this actually projects out a couple of really interesting points. This yellow box area right at the top here, this one is going to be showing us with my most conservative target ranges. Essentially, it is telling us that we should be aiming an ambition around the 24.4 to 58.1 cent targets. This is a conservative target. It is barely a new all-time high. The previous all-time high coming in at 27.983 cent. Now, it's possible, of course, that we do smash all the way through these targets, basically leaving them way behind as we have one of those moonshots. Again, I'm going to be conservative and say this is going to be the primary area of focus, and we will need to see how price reacts at these key levels before we actually start to get into more bullish territory where we start thinking about those really, really high target ranges for the VET token. Now, obviously, tokenomics is something that we have to talk about when it comes to price action. There's a lot of supply when it comes to VET. That is not necessarily going to be a really bullish thing that is ultimately out there. The supply is going to basically prevent the price from rallying up into significant levels unless there's a good reason and a good way to actually shrink that supply. And I think we have an ecosystem with VeChain that potentially might see that in the coming months and years. So I don't think the supply is going to be a huge issue, and the tokenomics are not going to be a major blocker for massive price action as long as there's an incentivization for the VET token to be locked up or to shrink that supply and not make it available for purchase on the open exchanges. So 24.4 to 58.1 becomes my kind of key area for a bull market high. However, if we were to see a good reason to see the VET token getting locked up, whether that's DeFi or whatever else it may be on the ecosystem, and we see a significant increase in the demand, we could potentially be looking at the price action of VeChain moving up more towards the 1-to-1 ratio. This is a $1.78 target. Okay, so $1.78 becomes a really interesting point for VeChain. A lot of people have speculated over the years are ourselves included, about $1 VET. And here we might actually start to see something like that materialize. Now, obviously, this is a long shot. It's not something that we're necessarily going to see overnight, and something that would have to see a lot of real good fundamental reasons as to why the supply would shrink and the demand would increase. But it's good to see that there's some pretty nice healthy targets out there for the price action of VET. Now, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and if you haven't done so already, why not check out this video here where I'm discussing the price action of Cardano's ADA.